34 minutes past the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Charlie Jones. This is the USA Radio Network. So good to have your company. Join me now in welcoming to our on-air circle the gentleman who's the CEO for National Positions. His name is Bernard May. Bernard, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Just to jump right to it, time was the opening of a store or service just required hanging up a shingle with your name on it over your storefront. But today that's done digitally, and serious success in business is now understood to require digital marketing. And that's what you do. Tell me, how'd you get started?
I actually was always in the high-tech industry, and I was doing marketing for a number of software companies like Symantec and then US Search here in Los Angeles, and saw a need for driving traffic to people's websites. So we were one of the founders, one of the original people who did optimization for websites out there, and started this business out of my garage and then built it into what it is today with a couple of hundred employees and offices around the world.
Well, so just like Michael Dell and Bill Gates, did you ever have any idea that it was going to blossom and bloom to the size of it and status of business it has now?
Not at all. I really didn't expect digital marketing to be as big as it is, and I think that, as you said originally, it's become so important to everybody. Once upon a time, everyone used the yellow pages, and they would use all sorts of offline marketing strategies, and today it's so important to be online. Everyone's picking up their mobile devices, speaking to them, or typing in a search.
Understood. Now, when someone needs a relevant online presence for their business, what's the first thing you tell them?
The first thing to do is to have a great website. And according to Google, over 60% of all sales that happen on the web today are happening on a mobile website. So if your mobile site isn't well optimized, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. So the number one thing I always mention to people is to have a great mobile environment. And in fact, load speed is so important on your website as well. If your website doesn't load fast, then you miss out on a huge amount of traffic because no one has patience anymore to wait for a website to load.
Too long, didn't wait. Okay. What about a client who needs his product or service to look good on a search engine? Are there a series of best practices for search engine success? I mean, it's all about how you look on the search engine. What do you advise your clients to do?
Yeah, so the next thing is to really understand what people are searching for when it comes to your product, and that starts with keywords. It moves on to search engine optimization in general, or SEO, and there are a number of different areas that a web owner should consider. The first thing is content. Do you have the right content, and is it the right context? Is it meeting the needs of the person doing the search? Say, for instance, you're selling a particular product like a camera online. Are you describing the camera in the right way? Do you have the brand name listed? Do you have information that is helpful? So for today, when people think of content, they think of text, but really what they should be thinking of is images and videos. And is the content set up also for voice search, which is growing leaps and bounds as well? The next area is obviously having a technically sound website, making sure that the website has all the keywords in what we call the title and meta tags, which are areas that sit behind the scenes, and the crawlers that come to the site actually read all that information and understand the context of the page. And then lastly, it's just the way that the website actually is set up in that it needs to be easy to navigate and easy to find information and to understand the information.
I'm curious about visual searches because so often when I needed a part for some appliance or for some automobile, I didn't know what the part was called. I had to go and look until I found one that looked like it. What do you advise for people that have to arrange for visual searches for their business?
So visual search is actually one of the areas that we feel in 2020 is going to be one of the big search areas that are going to grow. It's very important to help the search engines along the way as well, to add what is known as an alt tag or tags with the visual search so that Google actually knows what it is. So you're providing a description of what the product is and other keywords that would be appropriate and helpful for people that are looking for that particular product. Obviously, a very high definition photo is important as well, so that if someone is trying to match up like you were doing, you'd be able to quickly and easily find that image online.
Must take a tremendous amount of photography to get a website like this up.
That's right. Yeah. So you do need to. I think the web is becoming so much more visual today, and also knowing that people are mostly on their smartphone or their mobile device, you need to make sure that the site becomes a lot more visual and that it has a lot more photos and videos on it, because people just aren't. They don't have the patience to sit there and actually read things anymore. They want to see it, they want to interact with it, they want to hear people and actually view the videos instead of reading.
So TLDR doesn't just apply to newspapers anymore, does it?
That's correct.
How about surviving social media? How do you get your clients to engage social media and not get burned?
Well, today social media has become a pay-to-play type of environment, but social media is growing by leaps and bounds, and social is so important. And what's amazing about social is the incredible targeting power to really get your name out there. For instance, if you want to show your ads to parents who live in Denver who like dogs and make online purchases, you can easily target that with social media. The most important thing is to have really great assets. We were talking about videos and images before, and those are incredibly important so that you actually capture people's attention. Because really when individuals are on Facebook and Instagram, for instance, they're there because they want to find out more about their friends and family members and their network of individuals that they're interacting with. They're not there to buy a product or service. And so it's really important to have a video or an animated GIF, some other information that would be really contextually interesting to the individual that is on Instagram or Facebook. The other thing that's so interesting today for us as marketers is that you can now buy off of social media. So we're seeing that you can actually purchase. In fact, Instagram recently brought out this capability that you can actually purchase products now on Instagram. You can do the same thing on Facebook and Pinterest. So there are a lot of great opportunities for business owners to be able to sell their products directly on social media today.
So if you can buy services or products on social media, the chances are you're going to get testimonials if the customers like the services or product. Is there a safe way to solicit customer testimonials that your client will appreciate?
Yeah, so one of the most important areas, you bring up such an important point, in that people make decisions today based on product reviews. And especially on Amazon and many of the other sites, like the social media sites. And in fact, reviews can be as valuable as getting a recommendation from a friend or a family member. But one of the problems is that people are more apt to leave a negative review than they are to leave a positive review. So one of the recommendations we make is to always ask for reviews from all your customers. And you can do this by using an email system like marketing automation or some kind of automated email program, or simply by adding product inserts into your packaging and asking customers for reviews.
Is there a strategy or a practice you routinely have to advise a client not to adopt?
Well, that's a good question. The key there is to be genuine and to not to fake it, and to have good information and be helpful and to provide value, and not to. One of the areas as well is to make sure that you really have. One area which is so obvious is if you are selling a product, make sure that you've gone out and checked the pricing around the web. Many times people are selling branded products that are available elsewhere, and one of the biggest killers to a sale is to have a product that isn't price competitive. And that's especially important on Amazon. That's driven by price and also the how quickly the product can be delivered. That it can also be another area that make sure if you are selling a product and you have a warehouse, that you do deliver it on time, and that you do have the product in stock, especially when selling on Amazon, because there's nothing that can get you thrown off a platform like Amazon quicker than not delivering as prescribed.
So it's got to be the right object, it's got to be the right price, it's got to be sent at the right time and arrive at the right time to make a successful transaction basically complete.
Correct.
Wow. And I'm curious, those live chat messages I see on certain warehouse websites, how often are those really living people? Aren't they mostly just clever bots of one kind or another?
So that is actually becoming more and more the case, that chatbots are taking over from humans. But the way that the chatbots learn are from humans. So when a question comes in and the chatbot cannot handle it, it typically is then delivered over to a human through live chat. Live chat is actually extremely effective and does increase the conversion rate. I've seen numbers up to 40% where people feel that the site is trustworthy if there is live chat there. But you're right, it is becoming more and more handled by a computer. But sometimes the computer can actually answer repetitive questions over and over and do that in a very efficient way. I think when the automated telephone system started, people were not very happy, working with a telephone tree. Today, we've so accepted the fact that we have automated telephone systems that we don't question it. And I think that type of trend happening online with live chat is something that we're going to take for granted in the years to come.
Question: when the chatbot hands it off to the live person, in the United States, is it a business plus to have native English speakers, or can you farm that out to Indonesia or Malaysia and do that successfully?
Well, I am a strong believer that it is better to do all of those types of communications within the United States. A lot of companies have tried to outsource that type of work overseas, and I think there's been a big backlash, and that has been less effective over time. So I don't recommend trying to outsource, and it is so much more effective to have a team here in the U.S.
Okay, one final question about process: is pay-per-click really that big a deal? Can a business really survive on that?
Pay-per-click is like renting. It's something that you pay every single time someone actually uses the ad platform. It is obviously what has made Google one of the biggest companies in the world, and paid search is continually growing. Recently, I was at Google Marketing Live in San Francisco, where the top agencies in the world all attended, and Google's coming out with more and more great features and capabilities to reach different audiences through shopping ads, through their text ads, through YouTube. And I think it is something that it's interesting that when people are looking for products and services, they rarely look in one place. They will check pricing on Amazon, they'll watch videos on YouTube, they'll look at ads through their mobile phone. So to capture market share, you need to consider what we call an omni-channel or many-channel approach, which of course includes this paid search and social media, Amazon, Google, Bing, and of course influencer marketing. So I think that's really important that you don't consider just one advertising platform. And you can think of that in old offline type of business. It's the same as saying, would you use magazine advertising versus TV or radio? Of course, all of those platforms, and of course, speaking to radio right now, it's very important, and that all of these channels are key to a business's growth, and I think paid search is one of those key areas that will never go away.
Yes, sir. One more thing here. I understand you offer to our listeners a free retail guide to prepare their websites for the holidays. Kind of the equivalent of putting up a string of lights, I suppose. How can they take advantage of that offer?
Yeah, I'd really encourage listeners that are interested to visit nationalpositions.com/playbook to get a free holiday marketing playbook. It's full of additional great tactics that can help you this holiday season. And also, if you're looking for some help or a custom marketing strategy, we're also offering a free 1-hour consultation with one of our marketing strategists for any listener of this show.
Outstanding, sir. Bernard May, you're just a cornucopia of information. If it's nationalpositions.com, and if they wanted further information, what would they do?
Yeah, so literally just go to our website. If you're interested in contacting me, I'm on LinkedIn as Bernard May, NP for National Positions, and I'd love to answer any questions that anyone has, and just literally going to our website or calling the number on the website would be a great way to reach us.
Very well. Bernard May, this has gone by entirely too quickly. What an interesting world you live in, and what a fascinating industry to be involved in. Thank you, sir, for your time and your expertise. We appreciate your appearance on the USA Radio Network.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you, sir.